Welcome to page 3 of the income and expense declaration. We did pages 1 and 2 in a different video. We're going to fill out the case information up here at the top of the page again. Like I've said before, this is so that if your pages get separated, they can be put back in the correct case. This page is about your monthly expenses. This is going to feel a lot like filling out a budget. Section 12, we need to list the people who live with you. You're going to put the actual names of the people, but we're going to just assume here that my husband's name is husband. So we'd put his actual name, his age, and how he's related to me, spouse. Now this next section wants to know his gross monthly income. A lot of people get really weird about putting the monthly income of their new spouse on the income and expense declaration. They frequently think, oh, my new spouse shouldn't be responsible for paying support for this child from another relationship, so I'm not going to fill out the information. That's not what the information is there for. The information is there because it affects how much taxes you pay on your income, so you really need to fill out the correct information here. Let me give you an example. Let's say you earn $12,000 a year. That would be $1,000 a month. You're not going to pay a whole lot in taxes if it's just you filing your taxes as a single person. And you're going to pay even less, most likely, if you're doing head of household and you're claiming a dependent child. Okay, so I got to give you this warning. I'm not a tax professional, so I can't give tax advice. Talk to a tax professional, but this is how I frequently see things work out. Now, let's say that you make $12,000 a year, but your new spouse makes $240,000 a year. Your new spouse is going to be taxed a whole lot higher than you ordinarily would be. But because you guys file taxes together, now you are going to be taxed as though you earn a lot of money. You're going to be taxed in his tax bracket. So you're going to have a lot less money after taxes. So it's really important that you put the correct information here for your new spouse's income. In this situation, let's say that my new spouse earns $5,000 a month. And then over here it asks, do they pay for some of the household expenses? Answer this honestly. Yes, they pay for, in this situation, they pay for some of the household expenses. The reason why it's important to answer this honestly is because it could look as though you're supporting an adult that could be out working. And if you're going to the court saying, I can't afford to live, I need more child support, or I need to pay less in child support, and you've got an able-bodied adult living in your household that's not contributing to your household expenses, the court's going to look at you funny, and they may tell you, well, I don't have a whole lot of sympathy. That spouse of yours needs to be out working. So fill it out honestly. Okay, in my scenario, my son lives with me too. And I already told you his name is Terry. And he's 3.5 years old. He has no income. He doesn't help pay for any of the household expenses. Down here, section 13, average monthly expenses. We've got to check, are these estimated, actual, or proposed needs? I'm going to check that these are estimated. As an attorney, I will often do proposed needs if the parties have just split up and, you know, my client's couch surfing or something, and so they don't really have any rent and they don't have a whole lot of expenses, but it's not a realistic situation and it's not going to last very long. Well, that's when I would do proposed needs, and then I would come up with a realistic budget for my client. But usually I'm doing estimated expenses, and I'm going to do that in this situation too, is estimated expenses. Okay, so in this scenario, I own a house and my mortgage is $1,000 a month. You want to be honest about this. we want to put down what the average principal and interest is, and then what our property taxes are. This is going to be important because interest on a mortgage and property taxes are going to affect the child support calculation. Had to take a short break because my son ran through the kitchen pushing a metal toy log truck. Pretty noisy. You probably heard that in the background in parts of the video. So we were here at section 13A, mortgage, principal, interest, property taxes. Look at your mortgage statements. Make sure that you're actually putting the correct information here. I'm not looking at a mortgage statement. I'm just filling this out hypothetically, but you're going to do it properly. So in my hypothetical situation, my principal and interest are about the same. It's pretty rare that that actually happens. And my property taxes are going to be, let's say they're going to be $100 a month. You're going to actually look at your statements, make sure you get the correct information. Homeowners and renters insurance, if it's not included above, we're going to put that here too. And let's say that's $50 a month. Maintenance and repair costs. Not yet. I got to finish doing this and then we can go outside. My son wants to go outside. Okay, maintenance and repair costs. Let's say that runs us about $50 a month too. Healthcare costs not covered by insurance. This is going to be things like prescriptions, co-pays, deductibles. You're going to put what that is on average. And let's say that's $100 on average for my family. Next section here is child care costs. You want to make sure that you fill that out honestly too. And let's say that this is $900 a month for me on average. Groceries and household supplies. So there's another section here, laundry and cleaning expenses. Well, I usually only put something in laundry and cleaning if I'm dealing with somebody that has a maid that comes in and does cleaning, or has dry cleaning that they take to the dry cleaner, or if they go to a laundromat. That's usually when I put something here. Well, in my situation, I've got none of that. So I'm going to put 0. And in here, household supplies and groceries, this is where I'm going to include cleaning supplies for my house and laundry detergent and things of that nature.
Mommy!
Please stop.
Mommy?
I'm doing a video about how to fill out a legal document. Okay, and so because I buy these all at the grocery store, I'm going to include those things here.
Mommy.
So let's say that I spend $600 a month on groceries and household supplies. My son decided he wanted up. Okay, and then if the family eats out, we're going to fill that in here. And let's say we spend about $100 a month on eating out. Now, utility expenses, gas, electric, water, trash, you're going to add all of those up. And let's see, I'm going to say that's $200 a month on average. And then telephone, cell phone, email. For this section, I do telephone, cell phone, internet service, TV subscriptions. We're going to say that's $600 a month. Over here in clothes, and this is my entire family's budget, right, for the month, not just me. Sometimes I will do this for just the individual I'm dealing with. It depends on what's going on in the case. but I'm filling this out in my hypothetical situation for the Department of Child Support Services. I need the court to see
Mommy.
what my family's budget actually is. So I'm going to fill this out for the whole family. So clothes, this is going to be, I'm going to take how much I spend on clothes in a year, how much my husband spends on clothes in a year, how much we spend on clothes in a year for my son, and I'm going to divide that by 12, and that's what the clothing expense is going to be. My son wants to play with my pen. That doesn't work very well. So I'm going to say that we spend on average $200 a month on clothes. Please stop, Terry.
Mommy. Don't tell me how.
Education. For this, I'm going to fill out things like tutors, continuing education for myself. If my husband has any education expenses, we're going to fill it out there. If I had school tuition, because let's say I was working on my master's degree, which I actually am, I'd fill that out there. And let's say that, you might have a kid in private school, you'd fill that out there. So I spend, let's see, my master's degree is about $1,000 a month. And then my continuing education probably comes out to be about $100 a month. So I'm going to put about $1,200 a month for educational expenses.
No!
Entertainment, gifts, and vacation. This is another one where I take the 12-month total and I average it out over the year. So we're going to think about, do you go to the movies every month or, every week? Do you go on vacations twice a year? What do you spend on Christmas, birthdays, anniversaries? All of that goes in this category. So let's say that we spend on average $1,200 a month in this category. The next category is auto expenses and transportation. So this is insurance, gas, repairs, the bus. This would be your auto insurance, how much you pay for gas, your oil changes, how much your repairs cost you. And I'm going to say that this is on average $1,000 a month. Now the next section is insurance. This is life insurance and accident insurance. It's not home, auto, or health insurance because those are included in another category. Well, I don't have that, so I'm going to put 0. Now savings and investments. So some people put money into savings and investments regularly. If you put money into a 401k or a TSP or a 403b, or an IRA, this is where I would put that information. And again, that's for your household. And I'd also put here what you put the money into, or put a little asterisk and attach a separate sheet of paper to let the court know what you put the money into your IRA. And if it's something like, so let's say that I put $100 a month into savings and investment. And if you make any charitable contributions, you're going to want to put that here too. This includes things like monthly tithing or yearly tithing or whatever with the church and any other charitable contributions you make. Now this next section here is for monthly payments, and it wants you to tally up your monthly payments from down here and then put the total there. So section 14 here is for installment payments and debts not listed above. This would be for, say, credit cards. So let's say that we have a Chase credit card. We're going to put that there, and it's a Visa. So we put here that we pay it to Chase, and it's a Visa, and we're going to put the total balance here. Let's say that the balance is $100, and the amount I pay is going to be $100, and you need to put the date of the last payment. So sometimes people don't know the exact date of the last payment. And what I want to know is, are you current on payments? Yes or no? So if I don't know the exact date of the last payment, I'll put current.
Mommy.
And then,
Mommy.
let's say there's a truck payment, and let's say that B of A is who the loan is through. We're going to put that here, and let's say that there's $15,000 left on the truck and that we pay $500 a month, and the truck payment is current. So we can see here, let's say this is, hang on. Oh yeah, good job. That's a good boat. Okay, so we're going to add up all of these installment payments. If you run out of room to list your installment payments, we'll continue it onto another sheet of paper and make it clear that it's a continuation of section 14. So right here, the total installment payments are $600, so I'm going to put that there. And then we're back up here at the end of section 13. It wants to know if we have other expenses. So what I frequently see here is animal expenses. People with big dogs tend to have a whole big dog food payment each month, or a big dog food bill. I see vet bills go here. I see all sorts of other expenses that aren't specified here, but that people routinely have. And for me, I've got goats and chickens. Let's say that's their food. My cat food would be included here in groceries and household supplies because I buy it along with all my groceries. But I actually go somewhere separate for my livestock food. So I'm going to list it out separate here. So that's $100 a month. So now what we're going to do is now we've got to get together our calculator and we've got to tally all of this up, and then we've got to put what the total.
Mommy, an 8.
Yeah. Please let me record this.
An 8, Mommy.
Is that an egg?
Yeah.
Good job. Is the egg on the boat?
An 8 boat.
Yeah. Okay, so tally all of this up and then put the total here. I usually do this on the computer. Some programs will tally it for you, others won't. I used to have a program that did. Now I don't. Anyway, it's important that you put the total expenses here. This is going to give the court and the Department of Child Support Services some insight into your monthly situation. Here it wants to know amount of expenses paid by others. So if someone else is paying some of your expenses, you need to fill that out here. Let's say you're in a situation where your monthly expenses are higher than your income and your mom is helping you out and she's giving you some money each month. You need to put that there. And then I would write down here where that money is coming from. So off camera, I will tally all of this up and write it in here. Now we go down here to section 15, attorney's fees.
Mommy.
This information is required if either party is requesting attorney fees.
An 8, Mommy.
Good job. An egg and a boat. Yeah.
A morning.
Is that an Easter scene?
Yeah.
Good job. So if this is a situation where no one's asking for attorney fees, we don't need to fill this out. But this could be a situation where someone is asking for attorney fees.
Mommy.
And who knows, maybe you're not asking for
Mommy,
them,
Mommy.
but the other party's going to file a motion asking for them, and you don't want to have to fill out a whole new income and expense declaration. So I like to fill out this section even if there's not an attorney fee request on the table, because it ends up saving me time later on if in 2 weeks the other party asks for attorney fees. Well, if you're self-represented, you probably don't have any attorney fees. But if you're not, fill it out properly. So section 15A is to date, I have paid my attorney this amount for fees and costs. Fill it out. The source of this money was, and you're going to explain. Sometimes it's a loan from a parent, in which case that loan's probably going to be listed up here. Sometimes you're just paying from your monthly paycheck. Put that there. Yeah. Please let me record, baby. Sometimes someone gave you a gift. Sometimes you had some money in savings. Put the actual answer there. And then the next section is I still owe the following fees and costs to my attorney. You're going to honestly answer that and then fill in what your attorney's hourly rate is. And then your attorney needs to date, print their name, and sign, verifying that this information is true. So that was page 3 of the income and expense declaration. Sorry for all the interruptions. I know I'm not the only one working from home right now, so I'm probably not the only one with these interruptions. Thank you for your patience. Come back for page 4.